This is the plaintiff, Christine Gatherer. She says when she met the defendant, he told her he had just broken up with a woman who conned him out of money. When you know it, he turned around and did the very same thing to her. Yes, she was conned into making him a number of loans, which he never paid back. And well, today is Judgment Day. She's suing for $3,144.76, the amount she's owed. This is the defendant, Joseph Alvarez. He says the plaintiff fails to mention they were living together and she was paying no rent. Bottom line is, money exchanged hands as they do in relationships. And the only reason he's being sued is because she's angry he broke up with her, and this is her way of getting back at him. He's accused of taking advantage of a lady friend.
Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas. Christine Gatherer, you are suing your former boyfriend, Joseph Alvarez, for $3,144.76 that you say you have loaned him throughout the times, and he has not paid you back. Tell me what's going on.
I met him, the defendant, at the end of August of '09. We started dating. We met online. We started dating in September. Shortly thereafter, he told me a story of a woman who had conned him out of some money, and he had to go to a lot of different courts and hire a lot of different lawyers to help him get out of trouble. And that's when it all started, that he asked me to start borrowing money. He needed $700 to pay his bankruptcy lawyer. And from there...
How long did you date before you gave him $700 to pay his bankruptcy lawyer?
Less than a month before I gave him the
Really?
$700, yes.
Oh, okay. Why?
I'm still asking myself that question.
When you get the answer, can you tell me?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Then his car broke down and he needed a new transmission and asked me if I would put that on my credit card because he didn't have any credit cards because he had just filed bankruptcy. That was
That wasn't a clue that maybe he can't pay his bills? Okay, go on.
Various different things from there. He needed money.
Did you ever get a promissory note from him to ensure that he would pay you back?
I was in love.
Do you have you were in love
with the man. I did not.
Okay. And did you ever get is there any email traffic or text traffic or phone messages recorded that would show that he's got to pay it back?
I texted him a couple of times. He did not respond. He did send me $1,500 on March 8th. He sent me 2 money orders in partial payment of the money he owed me.
So you're suing for the money you loaned him for a bankruptcy lawyer, the money for the car that you just told me about, and then a bunch of little things like laundry cards and Stop and Shop groceries and all this kind of stuff, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different times where it's $25 here, $50 here, $55. Okay, so why are you paying for the guy's groceries?
He said he had no money because he was in this predicament with this bankruptcy.
Okay. So what did you see in him? What is it that you thought was so wonderful? Like, what was the, I mean, no offense, I'm sure there's, I just want the answer. What was, because if I meet a guy, and are you in financial difficulty? Are you going through any?
I am now.
You are, I didn't mean, I mean, when you met him, what was the, does he have a job? Is he working? What's?
He had a job, he was working, yes, but the whole time saying that he was behind on all of his bills because of this whole bankruptcy.
Okay. I understand when a girlfriend does that for a boyfriend, when they have like a lot invested in each other and but like you just met the guy. That's the part I guess that is throwing me for a loop. But I guess it's throwing you for a loop too.
Yes.
What is your defense? She says that she loaned you a bunch of money and you haven't paid it back.
She didn't loan me anything. She was living with me. She was in
What do you mean by living with you?
She stayed with me for about 2 months.
Is that accurate? Did you stay with him for 2 months?
No, I lived in Islandia, and he lives in the Bronx. It's very far away. When I first met him, I was going there every day, but then it became too expensive.
So why come he's not going to where you live?
You can ask him
that. Were you trying to buy, no, I'm asking you. Were you trying to buy him?
No.
I mean, it was really.
And welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. Would you loan somebody you're dating $700 a month after you date them so that they can pay for a bankruptcy filing?
No, that is crazy.
But what if you really like her?
I just have to wait it out.
Would you, I mean, the bankruptcy filing, a little bit of a red flag here?
Definitely.
What do you think?
That doesn't seem like it's gonna last. Like a month.
Yeah, but you know what? They're falling on hard times. They kind of give you a sob story. Would you fall for it?
No.
Bunch of hard-nosers here. Going inside the courtroom.
He had his own apartment, and I live in the house with my daughter, and he said there was no privacy where I
Okay.
lived.
All right,
So-
that's an answer. All right. So go ahead. When you say she was living with you, what do you mean? She slept over? Or you mean she literally lived with you for 2 months?
After work, she would come home to my house, and stay home with me. She was in the midst of selling a house and buying another one, so it was very confusing for her at the time. So she wanted to stay with me. Why
I
her
don't know why
daughter-
that would be confusing. She's still got to pay the mortgage at the house that she's at,
I
so it's not
understand
like
that,
she's saving
but
money.
her daughter was doing the moving and with her friends and everything like this, so
Okay.
she just wanted to stay away from all the chaos
Okay.
of moving one house to another.
So your point being that she lived with you for 2 months and that she didn't pay any rent.
I wasn't even looking for her to pay any rent. The thing was, she was helping me out. I was going through a rough time. She said, look, I'm going to help you out with this. And the transmission went. That was something that I was like, then I was done. I couldn't get to work at that point. So I told her, listen, when I get my taxes back, I'm getting back $1,500. And I said, I will send that to you.
Were you guys still together at that point?
Yeah.
Okay. So what do you mean send it to her? You mean
Oh,
in
well, give it to her at
okay,
that point.
all right. So when your taxes came, did you give it to her?
Yes.
Okay. And you gave that to her in order to pay back what? Anything specific, or just because she was helping you, so then you wanted to do that?
The transmission.
The
It was
transmission. The
specifically on
transmission was
transmission.
$1,330.
Right.
No,
No, it was
$2,830. I minused the $1,500 from that he already paid me.
Okay. So did you expect that you would at least be paying for this transmission?
She said she was helping me through that time. I was going through a really
I know,
bad
but I could
time.
help you by loaning you money, or I could help you by giving you money, and there's two different things. I'm asking you.
I wasn't taking help, considering it was a loan, because there was no way I could afford it at the time.
Well, okay, but obviously, if you could afford it, you wouldn't need a loan. That's the
Exactly.
premise of a loan. But it's also a premise that if you're supposed to pay it back, then you pay it back, even if it's little by little, and with some prearranged plan. Are you telling me that there was no plan for you to pay it back?
There was no
So then why
loan.
did you give her the tax refund? Just because you thought it was right under the circumstances?
That's what I told her I would do, yes.
Okay. Now, who broke up with who?
I broke up with her.
And why did you break up with her?
It just wasn't working out.
Why?
mean, she was going back and forth, having problems with her daughter at the time, and it was tough. It was tough on her, and I could see it. It just
How old
wasn't.
is her daughter?
Her daughter.
How old is her daughter? A grown woman or?
25.
Yeah, okay. So go ahead.
So it was just tough at the time, and it just wasn't working out.
Okay. Did
different
she want to break
lifestyles.
up too or no?
I don't think so. I
Okay.
don't know. You'd have to ask her.
Well, I'm asking you. Because
No,
I'm
I don't
trying to
think so.
figure out if the gift became a loan after you dumped her because she's angry. And I think that's what you're saying is happening here.
Basically, yes.
And now all of a sudden buying the groceries at a time when she's living with you and that's her contribution to the house now become your debt to her.
Yes.
Your Honor, I was not living with him. I stayed over his house on the weekends because it became too costly to travel back and forth.
Okay, but here's the deal, Ms. Gatherer. In a relationship, there is always an ebb and flow of money, okay? And when people break up, you cannot seriously expect that a court of law can sit here and dissect the pots and pans of your relationship throughout the course of all those years, or in your case, all those seconds. But, lots of times it's years. And, we can't really sit there and try to figure out who had the salad and who ordered the shake because it's impossible, especially when you weren't thinking that way beforehand. Because when it's not that a girlfriend can't loan a boyfriend money or a boyfriend can't loan a girlfriend money, they can. But when that happens, usually you can see that it's something different. It's a specific thing, not a chronic thing. It's not every little transaction between them. It's something that's different and specific. In your case, it certainly sounds like, you were, how do I say this politely? You must have been smitten or something because you're driving to the Bronx from Islandi all the time. Do you work in the Bronx?
No.
So you actually work over there too?
Yes.
Oh my God. And so how far is it away?
50 miles one way.
Right. And you're doing this constantly because you've met this guy, you like this guy from Jump Street. He needs money from you pretty regularly, and you don't mind until you mind. And no, a gift does not become a loan because someone's angry because somebody is no longer in a relationship with us. That's not how it works. Based on what I've heard, my verdict in this case is for the defendant.
Thank you.
The defendant wins this verdict here from Judge Milian. What's your feeling coming out of the courtroom and losing this case like that?
I'm a little upset. I lent him money and he agreed to pay me back when he got his tax refund, and he didn't. So
What?
beware, ladies, he's a snake.
Him? Well, you were in the courtroom with him. You look to your left. There he is, standing there. What was it like looking at him in the courtroom?
No feelings at all.
No? Well, you had feelings for him at one time.
Yes.
At that time, what did you see in him?
I'll never know.
Okay. All right, so you get away with the verdict in this case and satisfied how this comes out?
Yes.
I mean, how would you describe her?
She's a good woman. It's a shame she's bitter after the relationship. That was it.
What went wrong? Why'd you have to break up with her?
It just wasn't working out.
Okay, let's go over to Harvey.
Okay, Kurt, when you are dating somebody, especially in the early stages, and they start asking you for money, that should raise a gigantic red flag that this may not be the right person for you. And that will do it for this case. Litigants, for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.